The NFL playoffs are here. And what does that mean? We have some amazing wildcard matchups this Saturday, Sunday, and one game Monday night. Some great games I cannot wait to watch, and I'm going to be giving you my predictions for every game, who will win, why they'll win, and a touchdown scorer for every game that you can place in an entry on Underdog. The first game we have is the LA Chargers at the Houston Texans. And in this game, I have the Chargers winning 27-20. Look, Houston has looked lost since October. I made a video talking about them and how bad they have been. They are the 21st best EPA per play offense in the league. Ever since CJ Stroud has had a fallen off this season, they just have not looked good. And they are going against the 5th best EPA per play defense that also has the lowest points per game allowed this season. CJ Stroud just simply has had a worse year in his second season than his rookie year with more passing attempts. Now, there are a lot of factors to this, which we'll get to in a minute. And there's also Joe Mixon, who's been very unreliable this year. He either gets you 100 yards and 2 touchdowns or 30 yards on 20 carries. It's insane. This has been a thing for Joe Mixon for years, but with the way he started towards the middle of the season as well, you thought you were just getting a stud out there in Houston. But now, with the past few weeks, ever since about the midpoint of the season, he just hasn't been consistent at all. There have been many injuries to this team. Shaq Mason has played limited games. Stephon Diggs tore his ACL. Prayers up to Tank Dell, who faced a potential career-changing injury in his knee. I mean, that thing was shredded apart. And their offensive line is awful. They have been just so bad this year. Even Laramie Tunsil hasn't been great. Titus Howard hasn't been good. And the interior is terrible. It's just, you can't do anything with this offensive line. That's a big reason why CJ Stroud has failed this year to live up to expectations. People had him in the MVP conversation before the year. They're going against a team that is top 7 in terms of sacks. Now, they're not the best pass rushing team or a top 7 pass rushing team in the league, but they still sack the quarterback a good bit. And they're also going against an offense that has Justin Herbert in his best season of his career, where he only has 3 interceptions all year. Texans do have the 5th most turnovers in the NFL, but against a Jim Harbaugh-led team, a great offensive system, they're not going to get that many turnovers in this game, if any. I would be surprised if they turn the ball over, the Chargers. I believe that the Chargers, with this run game that has played well with J.K. Dobbins back there, he's been great all year. I mean, besides he missed a few games on the IR, J.K. Dobbins has been one of the better running backs in the league. Not one of the best, but one of the better ones. It honestly should be an easy win for the Chargers. And the touchdown score for this game is Lad McConkey. You should add that to your underdog entry and pair it with Justin Herbert to throw for 1 yard. The free pick you get if you sign up with code FANATICS on top of the deposit match up to $1,000. Because underdog is the best place to play fantasy sports. You can win up to 1,000 times your money. While this entry won't be that much, the payout will still be large. Let's get to the next game. The next game is the Steelers at the Ravens, where I have the Ravens winning 30-20. Look, the Ravens are just dominant. Derrick Henry and Lamar will tear apart the Steelers team. I know the Steelers have a good defense. The last time they played in Baltimore, the Ravens won 34-17. Lamar had 3 touchdowns. Derrick Henry had 162 and a touchdown. We should expect the same result. I don't trust Russell Wilson to win a playoff game on the road, especially with how bad he has been playing against good teams since Week 15. He's 0-4, and in that stretch, he is second to last in EPA per play, only in front of Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Yeah, and he's 21st out of 28th in PFF grade amongst qualifying quarterbacks. Simply, Russell Wilson has not been the guy the past 4 weeks that we saw through that stretch from when Justin Fields was benched and he came back healthy. I just don't believe in Russell Wilson this year. I never have. I don't think anyone should have. He had a couple good games, especially against the Bengals. But Russell Wilson will not play good against this Baltimore Ravens defense. They stand no chance. Absolutely none. Their offense is nothing. Their running game has fallen off a cliff. Their passing game has not been good. George Pickens has disappointed in the last few games since coming back. Steelers, I'm sorry. You're going to lose by 10. And before you Mike Tomlin haters start your agenda of, oh, fire Tomlin, because they do this every year when they make the playoffs in our first round exit, just shut up. It's not his fault he's a Hall of Fame coach, one of the best coaches of all time. He brings these bad teams into good situations. Now, the Steelers are not a bad team per se, Like if they played the Broncos first round, I'd have faith in them winning. I would still pick Denver, but I would have more faith. They just need to go into a rebuild and get a young quarterback, or hell, start Fields. Who knows with him? You're going to have him on a cheap deal next year if you re-sign him. Just someone that is actually good at football, not the fraud that Russell Wilson has been this year. Your touchdown scorer for this game is obviously Derrick Henry. The next game, Denver Broncos at the Buffalo Bills. This one is obvious. Adam Rank, who is known to be good at predicting, has the Broncos, but I got the Bills 28-17. I don't trust Bo Nix, a rookie who has been inconsistent at times this year, has shown great flashes, but also some lows as well, to go out there and beat the Bills in the environments of Buffalo. Their only good wide receiver, Courtland Sutton, will have Christian Benford, a top 5 cornerback on him all game, traveling, following him across the field. Deshaun Vele and Marvin Mims are not enough to sway me to pick the Broncos passing game over the co-MVP of the 2024 season, Josh Allen. Yeah, I can't pick an MVP. I get it. I suck. I need to be more decisive. But it's Josh Allen or Lamar. Pick your poison. I don't care. It doesn't matter what type of defense Josh Allen plays, because the Broncos are the best defense in league in basically every category. It doesn't matter. He will dominate his opponent, especially in the playoffs. Would you believe me if I told you that Josh Allen was a top 5 playoff quarterback of not even just the last 5 years, but I'd say the last decade? Yeah. Do you know why? Because, well, one, if Patrick Mahomes didn't exist, he'd have multiple Super Bowls, but, you know, Patrick Mahomes has his number, and that's where some of the narrative on Josh Allen comes from. But in the playoffs, in 10 games, Josh Allen has 2,723 yards, 21 passing touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 563 rushing yards, and 5 touchdowns. He also has a receiving touchdown back in 2019. But who cares about that? It doesn't matter. It's just funny. It's just funny to add in there. But in reality, this Broncos offense cannot stand to this Bills offense. They have no chance in this game. Sorry, Denver, but your miracle season ends here. I was the type of guy who wanted Cincy in the spot. I love Joe Burrow. I love Jamar. I even like Chase Brown, T. Higgins. Come to the Patriots. Come to the Patriots. Come to the Patriots. Come to the Patriots. Sorry. But no, the Denver Broncos will not win this playoff game. Your touchdown scorer for this game, it's a shocker. It's Khalil Shakir. I like him coming out of the slot, catching a nice slant right into the end zone, about a 7-yard touchdown. Book it, third quarter. Don't trust me on the actual timing and route of the touchdown. Maybe it'll be like a whip route or an out route or a screen, but he also has big playability downfield with his speed. It's just he's a little scary. He's underrated. I love Khalil Shakir. Packers at Eagles next. There are only 2 ways this game can go. Only 2. The Packers win 28-24 in a close game, like in week 1 where they did lose, but, still, they could win this game. Or the Eagles win by 17 points, 34-17. Because it's weirdly the only 2 ways I see this game going. Is the Packers win, close, or just Eagles dominate. It all depends on Jalen Hurts. Hurts, he's been weird this season, good, but weird at times. A.J. Brown has come out and said stuff, and maybe it was just like a motivational thing to make the team better and all that, but he's just been a weird quarterback this year. He's been great, really good, but has had bad moments. Every quarterback's had bad moments, but he also is coming off of a concussion. Concussions are confusing and scary for quarterbacks for any position. He'll play great in this game. He will. The Packers have a great defense, but the Eagles' offense is too good. Offensive player of the year in Saquon, 2 elite weapons on the outside, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. The best offensive line in football, no argument at all. It is just scary. If I were a Packers fan, I'd be up in my bed, holding Mr. Dr. Professor Confess-A-Bear. You can ask me why that is the name in the comments. In my arms, sucking my thumb in fear. Total fear. I would not want to play this Eagles team. And even though I do think the Packers have a chance of winning, I have to give it to the Eagles. The Packers are an elite team. Elite might be a stretch, but they are a great team. They have lost recently against some of the better teams in the NFL, Minnesota and Detroit. They were close games. The Lions won on a game-winning field goal. Vikings won by 2. But Jordan Love, one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league, needs to play better against those type of teams. If we can get Jordan Love at his best, which is the Aaron Rodgers version, which we see about half his games, the Packers will win this game. But if we get the Brett Favre, chuck that thing up there, praying it works, they will lose. He is the X factor in this game. I trust the Eagles to get it done when it matters most. Just a couple years ago, they went to the Super Bowl winning some great playoff games. It's not like last year, I'll tell you that, where they fell off a cliff and lost to the Buccaneers in the first round. Now, if they played the Buccaneers, who knows where I've gone, because I weirdly like the Buccaneers and trust them. The Packers also are without Jair Alexander, and I don't know if I trust their other cornerbacks to be able to defend the behemoth that A.J. Brown is. He also would make me have nightmares. And Devonta Smith, the Slim Reaper. Not KD, of course, but, you know. Shout out Xavier McKinney, though. Great safety. I don't know how he didn't make the Pro Bowl, but that's besides the point. Eagles 34-17. Surprising score. Yeah, that's it for the Eagles. Touchdown scorer, A.J. Brown. The next game, Commanders at Tampa. Look, Bucs 30-24. Whether you believe it or not, I think Baker Mayfield has been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL this season, especially as of late. Since week 14, a week after Mike Evans came back, he's PFF's third highest passer rating and has 16 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. When those two are on the field together, they create magic and fear, and this Washington defense is terrible. I do not have faith in them to be able to cover Mike Evans and stop Bucky Irving and Rachaad White on the ground. Shout out Bucky Irving for weirdly having an insane rookie season and being one of the better running backs in the league. Honestly, changing this Buccaneers rushing attack that was bottom of the league the previous 2 seasons. Jane Daniels and the Commanders have been one of the best surprise stories of this season. You know, a rookie quarterback coming into a failing franchise and bringing them to the playoffs for the first time in 4 years. But this is where their run stops. Jane Daniels won't be able to keep up with the Baker Mayfield-led Tampa Bay offense. The running game is too good. The passing game is too good. Baker is too good. Touchdown scorer, Bucky Irving. The last game of the wild card round. Whew, you guys aren't going to like me for this one. I got the Rams 24-21 against the Vikings, beating them at home. Yeah, you heard me. They'll win this game. You go back to July. Everything I said about the Rams is right. I've been on them since July. Pause. We saw Sam Darnold get exposed in Week 18 by the Detroit Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, blitzing him all the time, sending pressure at him. He was afraid. He was seeing ghosts again, overthrowing Justin Jefferson who got open, Amik Robertson sending him to jail. That was a scary cornerback matchup for Justin Jefferson. He could not handle it. He got open a couple times, but even when he did, the pressure was in Darnold's face. He could not make the throw. Now, imagine a team that isn't that injured, has Jared Verse, a rookie who is a third-team All-Pro. Obviously, that does not exist, but he's right up there for second-team conversations. 2 young defensive tackles with 8 sacks in rookie Braden Fisk and second-year Kobe Turner, and another decent outside linebacker pass rusher Byron Young with 7.5 sacks? Yeah, Darnold doesn't stand a chance. No, nobody does against that pass rush group. They're one of the best in the league. Verse is 4th in pressures as a rookie. His sack numbers might not be there, but he is disrupting the quarterback at all moments of a game. Kobe Turner, again, from the interior defensive line, the defensive tackle position, is 27th. That's impressive. And Fisk, as a rookie, is 35th in pressures. The interior of this Vikings offensive line is the weakest part. Garrett Bradbury, who is known as a good center, has had a down year, allowing 37 pressures, the most of any center in the league. Guard Blake Brandell has 41 pressures, 3rd most of any guard in the league. And Dalton Risner has played well since he came back from his injury just 8 games ago, but he won't be enough to stop those 2 defensive tackles. They'll have to double team one, allowing the other to get through. Kobe Turner is a known good pass rusher. He had a good rookie season as well. I mean, what are they going to do? If that pass rush can take advantage of the weak interior offensive line, it's wraps for Darnold in the pocket. And the Verse can do whatever the hell he wants on the outside. Even against their Cam Robinson, against their other tackle, who cares? Doesn't matter. Not to mention Puka Nacua, Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp and Kyren Williams are all good in the playoffs. They've had great runs in the playoffs. The Rams beat Minnesota 30-20 earlier this year in a game where Stafford had 4 touchdowns and running back Kyren Williams had 116 scrimmage yards and a touchdown. The Vikings are obviously an elite team and have a chance in this game. I mean, they went 14-3. I am not discrediting them at all in the great surprise season that they had. Their over-under for wins this year was 6.5. They're elite on both sides of the ball, with great coaching from head coach Kevin O'Connell and defensive coordinator Brian Flores, the best defensive coordinator in the league, maybe outside of Steve Spagnuolo, but point stands. I just don't know how I feel about them going to LA against a team that they've already lost to in SoFi. I just don't trust Sam Darnold to come out in an away playoff game and win, especially after we just saw against Detroit, another great team. The Rams defense will copy that same exact formula to stop Sam Darnold. Aaron Jones has been okay this year, so I don't know how I feel about their running game, but the Rams know how to stop this team. They've done it before, and we all just witnessed the Lions do it last Sunday night. And look, I like what Kevin O'Connell, the coach of the year, has done for this offense and for Sam Darnold in reviving his career. They have to re-sign him. But I just don't trust this Minnesota team against this offense and a good pass rush with the Rams, who have shown that they can go toe-to-toe with the best teams in the NFL, especially since they got healthy. Close losses to the Lions, Packers, beating the Vikings, and beating other teams as well, finishing the year on an amazing stretch to win the division, which I also brought up. When they had 4 games left in the season, I made a video on that and said they would win the division, and most people said they would not. Look, a Viking cannot go into a Coliseum and expect to ride off victorious on their ship. Let the poetry be in motion for the Rams. Now, disregard the Coliseum comment, 1, because they haven't played there in 5 years, 2, if they have to play in Arizona due to the LA wildfires, which prayers out to everyone that is affecting. If they have to play in Arizona, I still have the Rams winning. I just believe the Rams will shock everyone with how well they have played. They're on a run. They're on a great run right now to beat this Minnesota team. The touchdown scorer for this game is Jordan Addison. Total underdog payout of my touchdown entry plus the Herbert pick is 81.79 times. And it's going to be a flex. If 6 of those hit, it's 7.11. If 2 lose, it's 1.5 times your money. Either way, you're making money. There's a profit boost nearly every day on Underdog as well, so you can get an even better payout if you use the profit boost on this touchdown entry. Again, you have to sign up with code Fanatics on Underdog, where you get those picks, the free Herbert pick, and a deposit match up to $1,000. Shout out Underdog, and let's go NFL playoffs.